Hello and welcome to another session of Google.rs. It's Byron speaking, and I sound like I have a cold, but actually I haven't. That's at least my idea of it. So anyway, we are back with a little PR here. Fix compilation with Hyper 0.6 plus. And that's interesting because I was thinking that I'm already using Hyper. Right, a Hyper 6 and newer, and maybe, they changed it in the patch release so that this actually broke something for me, but I will see. So let's see what kind of, where this is. Actually, I have to get back in here. Where are my dependencies? I think all the shared ones are in cargo Mako actually. So here somewhere I should see Hyper. Okay. So I've pinpointed everything. So in theory I should only get what I need, but we will see. 0.6 seems to have changed. So what happens if I run an update? Let's find a good test case. Groups migration, I think, has this. I mean, let's look at, I've kind of looked at this before, so I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But for the dear viewer, so what's wrong with this PR, you could ask? Well, I don't know. I don't even want to check Travis because I don't think it makes sense, as Travis will only test YouTube compilation. I don't know why this fails all of a sudden. Maybe it failed for a while now and I didn't notice, but I think it doesn't matter. It's interesting to see how this change was made, because that way, I will be able to hopefully more easily make the adjustment. But the main problem here is obviously that the fix was made in generated code, right? And here, gen drive, and you cannot touch this code. It's generated. Do not edit this file. But we will find out we will see that we can reproduce this, and it's in this piece of code. Should ask DOG for URL and stuff. I think mbuild does it. If I could type a little bit, should ask DOG for. So here I think this could happen, but here it is. So that's a piece of code that we would have to change, I guess. And this happens if we have resumable media upload. So I think groups migration does indeed support upload, and it's a very small API. This is why we can use it. And I should be able to say make groups migration, CLI, cargo, maybe not even CLI. Maybe I can just build the library, because we are in library mode here. We'll build everything, of course, but for now, this should be enough. No, I think groups migration 1 or something. I hate it. How can I set the cursor properly? So here, groups migration 1. Yay! It's even updating. Maybe it's pulling in new things. Let's see when Hyper is happening to us. Oops. Hyper? I don't see it yet. It will come later. Maybe in the meanwhile I can get the groups migration cargo lock. Interesting. I think because is it hidden in the project settings? It is hidden, so this is why I don't see it. I think it's okay to not see it, but that would probably mean I have to open it explicitly through the command line. Oh, there's Hyper. Oh, and I'm using my local Hyper. I have a Hyper override. Oh, man. What do I do there? I think I just pull hyper and see what we get. Hyper OSX compilation. Yeah, I don't know if that has been merged or not. Git fetch origin, but we'll see. We'll see. I cannot spell and I cannot type. That's a real bad combination if you want to do any kind of programming. Okay, so 0.64 I think is what we want here. Git check out 0.6.4. So now we have a detached head, but we are at the right version here. And I guess I would abort this and just try again. Here we go. New versions of stuff come in. We might also have to adjust the MIME type. I will see if Hyper even compiles for us, because this MIME crate is usually pinpointed by Hyper, and we have to use the exactly same one because we are using it as well. And previously it seemed to have happened that if I do not pinpoint the MIME version that I want to the one that is actually used by Hyper, I mean, I'm talking about this one. No. Cargo Marco. So if I do not pinpoint it, I mean, as you can see, I documented this here. If I do not do this, if I just say, well, I'm fine with this, then it could have happened that Cargo pulled me the latest version. Even though it would use a different version than for a Hyper. And I'm not sure what was causing this, and I'm just sure that this shouldn't happen. Because the highest version that I can use is basically the highest version that is supported by any of my dependencies. Okay. Compiling Hyper, still doing it, that's good. I am guessing that I will be able to reproduce this issue once all the compilations have been made. Also, I'm wondering why I do not see Rust C here. What the heck? I should see Rust C here. What's going on? Possibly... Yeah, here it is. Ah. Yeah. I was not... I have to scroll up, of course. And here we are. Okay. Even though these values seem to be quite different. A bit weird. But Rust C is there. That's good. Good. So here we get Hyper. That worked. That compiled for me. Unstable. That's very nice already. Then Aster and syntax, quasi CodeGen, cert CodeGen. That's all stuff required to get cert working. It's also required for the build script. And there we go. So that is the fix that was required. This function takes 2 parameters, but 1 parameter was supplied. Okay, so the cool thing is that we can now just fetch this guy, review it, and see how we want to use it. Because here, what do? We unwrap it without, we are not consuming it, basically. We could even also clone it, right? And then just unwrap it. Yeah, why not? Because this is like a dance around not wanting to consume the optional here. Because we will... Okay, look, we never consume it here. Okay, we need to convert it into a hyper URL. I think that's the point here. We assume this always works, and I think it should, because that upload URL is determined by us. And it's clearly a valid URL, I think. So, in fact, this code is something we could use. Even though You know, if we would put and here, then we could just do this, huh? Then we just put in an optional here, and we parse. Oh yeah, damn it, we want to have the, no, damn it, I'm dumb. We of course want to have this access to what is contained inside. Yeah, I had the tendency, yeah, okay. And then I'm wondering if this can be better. I mean, sure, we're downright ignoring this thing, and then we are unwrapping. I kind of would like, if I unwrap, I would like to unwrap on the parse here, because we know we have something inside. And here we totally discard the value. So if I would unwrap on this one, and then make it a sum, then we would see if there is a parse error and fail due to a parse error, not due to unwrapping on an empty option. Yeah, so this could do, and then we have to put this here, right? Wants to own it. Fine with me. And interestingly, we have a response here. An option. We could even do an and then here, because this match response, you know, this was the first project I ever made, and I haven't ever used these and then thingies, because this is more like an if let here, right? Sure, it's nice and clear to say, well, this is supposed to be unreachable, but in a way, yeah. If we do, what can we do on a result here? Because that seems to be a result. Show me. Oh, I should actually learn that if I am here, I can press S and get up there, right? Yeah, so show me what a result can do. Because I would like to use the chaining a bit more. That's more idiomatic, far more idiomatic. So, and then also returns a result. Even though we will get access to the thing that is contained inside. Right? Right. Yeah, that totally works like that. Yeah, so let's try that. So we could do an and then get a ref mud. The question is if this, yeah, this is own, right? So we can just use a mutable here and repack it. So here we have a new response, and then we drop in the mutable response here. This closure must return a result, and now I can just put this in here. And oh, by the way, what's the return value? Okay, this has no return value for us. So we don't care about this, even though apparently it had a return value for us, but we were ignoring it anyway. So yeah, this will return what we need. That's the request result. Or, that's interesting. Yeah, it's more like a response that we manufacture, huh? That's fine. I think that's how we want to do it here. So now this should be exactly what we need. We have we expect a positive result. So what we didn't encode here is that we expect a positive result, right? So we could probably do an or, because if that is not the case, what do we want to do then? We don't want to unwrap this, but we want to do something. So I would actually go with an or else and then just panic. Or else, yeah, we have no way to return this, so I would just want to panic on this. What happens here? Do we panic on this later, possibly? Yes, we do. So later we handle the possible error. So I think this is how the code should be. Let's see if that compiles. No! Expected. A result with a hyper error found nothing. What? But and then... I thought and then is returning a result. See, it is. So what? Ah, true. In here we have to make sure we return an okay result. Of course. We have to pack it up again. So this could work better. Yeah, all this expansion stuff here. Look at this. Whoa, that's no fun anymore because we are using. We basically mangle it, so the errors will happen in a file that was pre-printed from the compiler. So it looks really, really different from what you are expecting to see. Yeah. Good. So I say, let's pin it, and we know that we need this one or larger. The rest is fine. Let's build the CLI. Just to be sure, because I think... yeah, we have to run update on this guy. I think then it will work. Because CLIs are binaries, they have a cargo lock. So update is required for us to make it work. But I think the type CLI, it shouldn't specify anything else specifically. No, it doesn't. Good. And there we go. It compiles an amazing amount of stuff, considering that most of these items should already have been compiled for the library. See, now it compiles the hyper again. Thank you very much. And we have to wait. Yep, hypermock. Oh, I think I use, for the debug printing, I actually use facilities from hypermock because that allows me to basically intercept all the streams given to hyper using a T-stream. A T-stream will then just pass on the stuff to hyper to the server, but also print it out to another stream. Yeah, so that's useful for debugging, especially when you want to debug the authentication. Yeah, at some point I might consider removing this feature just because nobody should need that. So, compile. I totally don't like htop right now. But at least I see Rust now. Good. I just want to say, it seems fishy that Rust C didn't show up here, but now it does. It's also interesting how it balances the load to all the cores. Huh? That's not so obvious when you look at the activity monitor. and seems to also know which cores are physical and which are logical. Because otherwise it would just go through 1, 2, 4, I guess, but it takes every second one. So as if all the odd numbers were the physical cores, whereas the even numbers are the, well, hypercores. Yeah, I've watched a video of Handmade Hero recently, where this was explained, what hyperthreading is and how it works. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. But it makes total sense. And the whole idea is that if the instructions are all blocked because they're waiting on memory to be fetched or something. Oh, look at that. Okay. So have to stop about hyperthreading and fix this, because apparently the latest CLAP changed its API in a breaking fashion. But it's okay. Look, it's version 1 now. And I will happily upgrade to this. Okay, but one thing after another, right? So this fix here. Oh no, wait. Sorry, that's the generated stuff. I will update this all at once. So this fix hyper up compatibility with hyper 0.6.4. Signature of client response changed and now requires a hyper URL as well. And that's exactly what we did. That's pretty okay. But we have to keep going. Not yet done. So type CLI, I think, has the clap dependency. See, I was using 091, but I'm happily pinning it to this one that has now been coming in thanks to the update. So let's see what it says. It's always a bit difficult to understand what it wants to tell us, even though here we don't mangle it, which is good, because now we basically just have the plain file. So no associated item named new found for type clap subcomment. That's interesting. Okay, so we just can't create a subcomment. Good. Engine Mako subcomment new. Where does it come in? Is it in main Mako maybe? Nope. So let's see where that stuff is coming from. Make docs. ArcParse, maybe, possibly. Yay, so here it is. So here we have to make the adjustments in order to make it work. So what happens is that we have a static data structure. I can even open groups migration main so that you see how that works. So here we have this static data structure that is actually located partially on the stack, partially on the heap. So that I think we'll end up with a heap allocation. But this macro here can be smart and can put the stuff in an array, I think, something like it. But possibly if in doubt, I would just say, well, there's probably a heap allocation here. Yeah, and this is the data structure. We use it to later generate the subcommand structure. In first versions of this, I was basically putting this code here with subcommand new and a whole lot of nesting directly onto the stack, which would cause a stack overflow. So we had to work around that. So subcommand new, show me. Why does that not work anymore? Please clap, show me what's going on. Google.rs. documentation. So subcommand does still exist. That's what I've seen. But new is gone. So that's now called with name. That's good. You know, I'm totally fine with these breaking API changes because they make it better. And after all, if it's below 1, it's alpha software and you are allowed to change everything, right? With name, I think it's just the same. With name, because arc with name is the same, right? So I think there was just a bug fix. So this could now work. And you know, I think I would like to also close the PR. Let's put this here. With the one commit I just made. So that is pull 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that will work. So let's amend the commit. We do not add anything here. I just say closes 1, 2, 3. No. Why does that already happen all of a sudden? There must be a bug. Okay. This worked when I made the commit the first time, and now that I amend the commit, it doesn't work anymore. That's odd. Really odd. Anyway, closes 1, 2, 3. That's what I want to add before I actually put this change on, which will make it compatible. Fix clap up. Use clap 1.0.3. Sub command new. Was renamed to subcommand with name, which actually is now consistent with everything else. For example, arc with name. Yeah, that just as a side note. Good, and here we are. We are done. And last but not least, I think we can regenerate all here and make that update so that it's visible on cargo. I wouldn't recompile because we only made stuff compatible again. This doesn't change functionality at all, so there's no need to go through that, through these efforts now. But what we will do is make J8. How was that target again? Again, all CLI. Yeah, that was it. So now with the power of 8 cores, they light up nicely. And push my CPU temperature to, wow, it's actually not rising. It's not climbing. So the cooling works, apparently. Oh, there it is. 105 degrees. Yeah. Interestingly, the fans, they seem to be made so that they can spin up only slowly. And if you have a jump like this, you know, I think possibly the fans might cause some minor, I don't know, overheating, just because it takes them so long to get to their maximum speed of 6,000 RPM. Anyway, so we just recompiled everything. So I can add the gen stuff to get the fixes in. Yeah, I think I will do this on the command line. Sure. Code update. To make it compile with. Upgrade to latest hyper and clap. That is that. So, and we push it and we are good. I will, of course, write a few lines. How long did that take? 30 minutes, fine. I should close any moment now. There we go. Thanks for the hint. Damn it. Do I have a milestone that I can assign it to? First released with Rust 1.0. I wonder why I didn't. I thought I did that already. No. Yeah, let's finish this one first. Means the next one I would be working on is actually this one, so I should close this other one. Yeah, thanks for the hint. I have updated the code generator accordingly and regenerated all the APIs for you. Please feel free, yeah, as the change you made was very helpful. Please feel free to do this in future as well to help me get started with the respective change in the generator. Cheers! So that is that. I think last but not least, I should fix up my milestones and say, well, this one is definitely done, kind of. Weird. It still had some issues assigned, so maybe I want to pull these elsewhere. Where are the issues? Here they are. Yeah, I just move them along. That's how I always do it. And then I move them along again and again. So I think that's how that should be, but that is not really related to this PR, to this session. So thanks for watching and have a great day.